Hello, my name is Ari POKKA. I'm immediate president of the ICP, the International Confederation of Principals, former president of the Finnish Principals Association, and a working principal of the Shield Upper Secondary School in city of Jyväskylä, Finland. Today I will tell you a little about principals evaluation in Finland and maybe some things about general evaluation system in our country. First of all, it's quite an interesting topic because we don't have actually external evaluation of the principals or teachers in Finland. That ended in the 1980s when Finnish government think about it that the school system itself can evaluate about their own process, and we don't need any more external evaluation or external inspection as we know it in many other countries. So the basic element of the Finnish education is what we call trust, and it's very much because of the high standards of the teachers, university background studies, but also the high standards of the principals, who also nowadays in Finland have university background qualification to work as a principal. Of course, we can say same time that there will be some external evaluation of principals, but it's mostly part of the general evaluation process what our officers do when they evaluate the school curriculum, school climate, let's say also generally the other activities in school like a student's well-being. All of these you find something what says something about the principal's work and principal's possibilities and attitudes, how they affect the normal daily school life, how they affect how we use the curriculum in the schools. So when you're reading carefully the evaluation of the process, what happens in the school, you can see also some evaluation of the principal's work and principal's possibilities to make the better schools and better outcomes. Actually, the outcomes is one of the quite interesting questions because many of the school system think about it that the student outcomes are the main thing what we must evaluate. But when you look at the school much more closer, you see a lot of things which are quite difficult to put the numbers or grades, and those things are also very important. And the principal's role is not only to make the better outcomes in the maths or science or any other subjects, but also guarantee that the school system itself is the healthy, it's make the well-being students, and it gives a larger scale of opportunities that only the numbers and grades. And that's the one thing what I think it's very important to think about it when somebody has planning the evaluation system for the principals. Actually, I can say that the standards for the principal's work are quite difficult to limit because it's that kind of work where the limits are quite wide. So when you think about it that there must be some kind of standards for the work of the principal, it's good to think about very carefully what are those standards and how you evaluate the standards. If I can say some advice, I think it's much more better to concentrate the teacher training, the principal training. If I can advise you, if it's possible, I think that it's very good to think about very carefully that which one is the best way to raise the standards of the teachers and principals. Is it to concentrate the qualification of the teachers and principals, teacher training, principals training, or is it the better way to try to create that kind of evaluation system which gives the results about the job. My advice is that if you like to create a sustainable system to increasing the standards of the school workers, principals and teachers, I think about it that training will be the first one what you should develop in your country. Then we can go the local level and the school level. If you look the work of the principals in the local level, the local education officers, mostly working in the municipalities, they evaluated every year the principal's work. And the main way to evaluation is the development discussion between the education director and the principals. And there the both discuss and showing what they have do last year, what kind of ideas they have, their training, what is the best thing what they have done, and maybe what are the most challenging things in their working life. So those discussions are quite intimate, and the people give a lot of information, both sides, to develop the principal's work, but also the director's work, that the collaboration between those two parts of the education could be better. Then in the school level, actually in Finland we must have the development discussion all the teachers every year, which means that those places are also where the teachers can say something about the leaders' ability to lead the school. And I can be I'm very honest when I say that the Finnish teachers really give feedback if they felt that the principals have some parts of his job or her job what he or she should do better. And also they have the possibilities to give that kind of same kind of questions without name, and every year they make some kind of evaluation sheet for principal's work, and then the directors looking that very carefully, and they will use those evaluation papers to increase our ability to lead the school, and of course think about it that what is best way to challenging ourselves to be better principals in the future. And the third part is very important. The students also evaluate the school system very closely, same to parents. So actually when you look at the Finnish schools, there's directors, teachers, students and parents who give a little bit different point of view to evaluation the school leadership. But that's let's say it's very soft way. This is not it's not punish anybody. It's much more the information and much more about the ideas that how we develop the better schools in Finland. And it gives let's say the principals that kind of feeling that okay, we have that kind of school climate where we can make the mistakes sometimes, we can learn to do things better, and nobody is giving us that kind of feeling that doing something wrong or making mistakes is something very harmful for your career. So I think that all these systems where people think about it, that evaluation is something what you must fear. So then you create the system that the people are not very interested to make some kind of new innovation, because new innovations are always that kind that there's an idea that if I make the mistake, what happened then? So my advice is that this kind of softer evaluation system is much better than strictly standards what and how the principals must lead a school, because every school is own unit every school have their own culture, and the culture is the combination of the work of the teachers, principal, students, parents, and of course, at a larger scale, the whole society. So, I hope that these ideas about the Finnish way to handle the workers in the school quite a nice and soft way gives you some kind of ideas when you develop the Italian schools and Italian school system, and especially think about it, the one of the most critical point, the school leaders' possibilities to be effective leaders. I wish you all the very good conference. Hope you see sometimes in Rome, the city what I love very much, and it was great to have this opportunity to speak you for a while. Thank you.